What's up, guys? I decided to just go ahead and make a video on ab workouts. This is one of my go-to ab workouts. I'll do a few that will target specific areas because while you can't necessarily spot burn fat, you can spot build definition. So, if you're trying to make a specific muscle look better, then if you target that muscle, then it will actually look better. So people want to, people say, can I burn fat in a certain area? No, not really, but you can make that specific area, appear better, which is basically what people are looking for in the first place. So this particular workout I like to use, this one will be your lower abdominals, like in a six-pack, those bottom two, and also your lower obliques, and like your rectus abdominis, that area. So basically what I have is a 4 exercise rotation where I do 30 reps of each, and then I rest for a couple minutes, and then I do 30 more reps. Now notice, nothing here is being done really fast. You don't want to do ab exercises really fast because you recruit other muscles, and you do not use your actual ab muscles. When you move too fast, your core can recruit a host of other muscles to move your body, especially the central portion of your body. So if you move too fast, then you're recruiting too much of the other muscle groups. And even if you move too fast or the wrong motion, you won't even be able to target your lower abs. Your lower abs are hard to target, and studies have shown that even exercise where people really try, that you think are going to engage the lower abdominals, they still engage your middle and upper abdominals. So in order to get that burn those lower abs, you have to develop a mind-muscle connection where you're actually focused on squeezing those muscles, and they're not really utilized that often, so your mind will be disconnected from those particular muscles there at the bottom of the lower abs. Another thing is, just general rule of thumb, there are other factors that attribute to ab fat, especially the lower abdominals. Number one is stress, or one of them is stress, a big factor. It increases your cortisol levels and causes your body to store excess fat in your lower abs. It's kind of like a distress response from your body, where your body starts to store fat in case you're like all of a sudden starving. So it's just kind of a protective mode for your body. The other is lack of rest. Right? If you don't get enough rest, you will not have good abdominals. And people got all kinds of reasons why they're stressed or why they're not getting enough rest. Your body does not care. Doesn't matter. You don't work around it. You just you got to do it, or you're just not going to have the proper development. And wait, I need to say something right quick. You guys will notice throughout this video that if you look at my triceps, they are popping. The triceps are popping, man. And I just got finished doing cardio. I was doing some split miles, so I didn't even do no triceps, man. The triceps are popping. Sorry, I just got distracted, man, by the triceps because they popping. Anyway, back to our abs. So these specific movements I found to target my lower abs. There are some more. Obviously, these aren't the only ones, but in any ab exercise or routine, you really want to target your full core as well. Engage in that full core, especially so you engage your stabilizer muscles, and that will actually allow you to target certain muscle groups better versus using them all at the same time. All right, so then here I'm going I'm resting, and then I'll start back over. All right, so let me explain the dynamics behind the particular motions that I'm doing here. So the in and out, which is the first one I'm doing, where I extend my hands over my head and my feet straight out. A lot of ab exercises, you want to make sure that you extend the muscle and then contract it. All right, you want to get a complete range of motion so that you completely develop that muscle. All right, you want this on a lot of exercises. You see guys who are trying to get bulky, they'll do like really short rep range exercises. That's a way to get bigger, but that's not necessarily something that we want for our abdominals. All right, we want to fully extend and fully contract to get that full range of motion for the abdominal. So it's not to, you don't want to bulk up your abs, you want to develop them and get them toned and muscular. So at this in and out ab exercise, notice I'm kicking my legs out. And the reason I'm kicking them out is because if you raise them up, then you're recruiting hip flexors, you're recruiting your middle abs, you're recruiting your upper abs to stabilize. And that's more vice-like on your back. Because of the motion with your feet going down, the counteraction is for your back, your middle back, to raise up. You want to keep your middle back flat against the floor as much as possible. And just continue to really focus on engaging the mind-muscle connection for your lower abs. And when you come in, you want to squeeze those knees into the chest as much as possible. If you want to add some difficulty, you keep your feet up at the same level or slightly higher than your knees. That really gets that burn. Notice my butt is rotating off the floor. It's okay to rest here, but you want to make it quick. You do not want to, you just want to get it to where you're not going to failure and now your form is just completely breaking down. So you really want to work and challenge yourself and not quit, but making sure also that you're giving yourself ample time to recover in between sets and taking, periodic breaks, but not overly long breaks. All right. The next one is a plank, SpiderMan. So a lot of people tend to do this way too fast. And number one, you have to start off with being able to do a proper plank where your shoulders are even with or slightly ahead of your elbows. All right, you want your shoulders even with or slightly ahead of your elbows, and then you want to bring that knee forward and really focus on squeezing your lower obliques. All right, those are ones that are hard to target and they don't get, because your obliques wrap around all the way around to the front. So you want to get that front portion of the oblique so you get that definition or kind of that outline around the outside of your abs, especially down towards the bottom. You want to make sure you really squeeze and engage your obliques there. But then again, you're still working your entire core because you're holding that good solid plank position. Once your butt gets over your head, you completely negate the effectiveness of the exercise. So you need to keep your butt down below your head and really work on squeezing the abdominals. You do not want to do this exercise fast. I'm going to reiterate, you do not want to do this exercise fast. Matter of fact, you want to keep the same pace throughout the exercise. The same pace that you start off at. If anything, you want to slow down to make sure you're really engaging, because as you start to get tired, you're still going to start to recruit other muscles. All right, and you want to come to a slight stop when that knee gets up towards that tricep. It helps to lean into it. If your elbows are out beyond your shoulders, like outwards, you'll never be able to reach, physically, your anatomy, you'll never be able to reach your knee to your tricep. All right, here's a bicycle kick. All right, now notice anytime you're moving your legs up and down, you're going to recruit your hip flexors, but that pause in between where both of my legs are stationary is where the lower abs are engaged. And it's a short period of time, but it's a real intense engagement of the lower abdominals. So you want to get a pause there, and you can pause kind of almost as long as you want to. but because you got one leg up and then the other leg out, it's not going to over engage your hip flexors, because you really only engage in one at a time when you pause. Okay, so you'll notice, like in Pilates, a lot of the exercises have pauses in them. That's because that's what really engages your core. Like just moving real fast and doing stuff is basically useless. You're not really using your abs as much as you'll use your core, but your core is not necessarily going to give you ab definition all over the various sections of your abdominals. So here I'm moving to a cross climber, and notice them triceps popping. Oh man, them triceps are popping. See, look at them popping. So this is a cross climber. So this is similar to the scissors. And I hope I didn't call them bicycles. They're not bicycles. They're scissors. Fight for scissors. These ones are cross climbers, and similar to the scissors, you like to basically rotate your hips as much as possible so that you're getting the obliques involved in there, the lower obliques, and then also make sure that you're bringing that knee forward and trying to touch your forearm with it, and you really get that lower corner of the abdominals, both the obliques, rectus abdominis, and all the muscles that make up your lower abs. Again, you don't want to move too fast. I'm almost too jerky here. I'd rather pause on each one of those, which I'm not doing. I'm more of like kicking my knee up there and not really holding it and engaging that muscle. But like I said, I just got finished doing cardio. I'm sweating profusely, and so I was just like, oh, I got hair on me. Right now I'm thinking, got hair. It's on me. Get it off. It's nasty. So back to the workout. So that will be my second set, and then I'll do another set here, and so you guys can watch along. You can work along with me here, and you can just turn some music on or something, and just do as many as you can in the time frame that I do them. Even if you're really good at this workout shouldn't take any shorter time than it does. And you'll see this video is about 20 minutes. It's exactly how long it took me to do it, with the rest in between, a minute and a half or 2 minutes rest in between. Even if you, unless you cut down your rest, this workout should not take any longer for your repetitions, because you're not aiming to move faster. You want to, if anything, it should take longer because you're moving slower and holding those motions longer. All right. So that's what you have to, the mindset you have to be in when you're doing ab workouts, is to pause, move slower and more deliberately, and really engaging the mind-muscle connection, between your various muscle groups there. And it's harder in your abs because it's harder to engage some abs and not the other, or to really kind of target specific areas of the abs. So you really have to be conscientious of exactly where you're focusing on targeting. And that lower ab is the hardest part to reach, obviously, because as soon as you get out of your effectiveness range, or you move too much, or you get too tired, you start to recruit those stronger abdominal muscles that are higher up, and so you don't get the lower ab development that you want. So if you want to, if you're getting ready for the summer, man, you gotta start hitting these abs, man. But then again, always or never forget that abs, man, are made in the kitchen, and are made in cardio. So you need to start doing some cardio if you want to get lean. Notice again, when my heels come in, I'm getting a reverse crunch. So you see my butt lift off the ground there. So I'm pretty much only centered when I'm contracted and my knees are in. I'm centered on my back, like probably the center. I'd say maybe 70-80% of my back, because my shoulders and shoulder blades are almost off the ground, and then my butt and hips are coming off the ground too. So you want to squeeze and fully extend, kick out. All right, kick out so that you're not engaging the hip flexors too much, and keeping the tension on your lower abs. And you should feel this in your lower abs. It makes you extend as much as you can before you come in and contract those ab muscles. All right. Hope this video is helpful for you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. DezWhite1@gmail.com. Holler at me on Facebook, facebook.com/DezWhite or the Body Firm ATL. And always, check us out on YouTube. Comment, drop a subscribe on there, and we'll keep these videos coming, man. Next one we'll focus on probably some oblique work as well. You don't need a lot of variety in your ab workout. You just need to stick to something and really focus on getting as good as you can at it. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll catch up with you guys in the next video.
Okay.